Hello history lovers and welcome back to the channel. On this day, the 6th of September 1572, Sir Henry Jerningham, who lived through the reign of 4 Tudor monarchs, 5 if you include Jane, at his manor of Cotsey in Norfolk. Henry was born in around 1509 or 1510, and he was the eldest child of Edward Jerningham and his wife Mary Scrope, who after his father's death would go on to marry Sir William Kingston, the infamous constable of the Tower of London during Anne Boleyn's imprisonment. Both of Henry's parents served King Henry VIII's first wife and queen, Catherine of Aragon. Henry's father is thought to have died in 1515, or just after, and his mother remarried to Sir William Kingston in around 1524. At the age of 18, Henry began his career at court, where he was appointed as a sewer in the household of the then Princess Mary, King Henry VIII's only legitimate heir. Talking about keeping in the family, Henry married his stepfather's granddaughter, Frances Bainham, in 1536, and sometime after 1540, Jerningham was made one of the king's gentlemen pensioners, and as such attended future major state occasions. Henry later served as king during the French campaign of 1544, and he was also granted the manor of Wingfield in Suffolk and the manor of Cottesey in Norfolk in 1547. In 1547, King Henry VIII died, and he was succeeded by his 9-year-old son, Edward. Little is known of Jerningham's career during the reign of King Edward VI, but we can assume that he served this king as well as he had the previous. What we do know is that after Edward's death in 1553, he was instrumental in the Lady Mary claiming the throne from her cousin Lady Jane Grey. He raised troops in Suffolk on Mary's behalf. Jerningham had actually helped Mary flee to East Anglia upon the king's death in July 1553, and on the 15th of July, Sir Henry Jerningham helped turn the tide, quite literally, by convincing the crew of the royal ships guarding the eastern coast to abandon their support for Jane and back Mary instead. They probably didn't need much convincing, as Queen Jane had not exactly paid her men. Days later, Mary was queen and Jane was deposed. By the 20th of July, the new queen had shown her thanks, and the couple benefited from royal favour, as they were given lands by the queen. Mary had appointed Henry as a privy councillor, vice-chamberlain and captain of the guard. Henry's wife Frances became part of the queen's household. At Mary's coronation, Henry was made a Knight of the Bath, and he showed his loyalty to the crown again in 1554 by helping squash the Wyatt Rebellion. It was noted that Jerningham was clearly one of the Queen's most trusted servants. In December 1557, Queen Mary appointed Henry as her Master of the Horse, which granted him an annuity of £300. He served as Queen again on her council in 1558 during her disastrous conflict with France, and when Mary died later that year, he was one of 6 executors of her will. Despite serving 3 Tudor monarchs faithfully, Sir Henry Jerningham was dismissed from office upon the accession of Queen Elizabeth I. One can only assume it was down to his faith. Although I find this odd and potentially there is more to this than that, I have yet to uncover, as Elizabeth was religiously more tolerant towards Catholics during her early reign, and although her father and sister were Catholics, her brother Edward was a staunch Protestant, and yet there is nothing to suggest that Edward had an issue with Jerningham being in his service. Although saying that, as stated earlier, we know very little of his career during Edward's reign, and maybe that's why. Either way, he did not stay in the Queen's bad books for long, as Elizabeth granted him a general pardon in 1559. He retired his manor in Norfolk, where he died on the 6th of September 1572. His biographer, Anne Veakle, stated, "His will provided for London prisoners and for almshouses founded from his lands in Herringfleet. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, then make sure to leave a like and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Make sure that notification bell is on so you never miss a video, and as always, have a wonderful day.